So we tier listed the helmets. Now we've got a tier list the driver overalls, the suits, because there's some very, very different looks for this year compared to last. We're looking at 12 in total because 2 teams had kind of different ones for testing that we will include as well. And just like before, this tier list is linked in the description down below. So do yours, give it a print screen and send it me on Twitter. Right, let's crack on. Let's start actually with the kind of the special edition. They're not liveries. Well, they're kind of like driver liveries, aren't they? For the human livery. But anyway, let's start with Ferrari, the all red number that they put out early doors, got people very excited. No Philip Morris relationship anymore, so not restricted, not the big ugly white boxes like they used to have in the past, which, to be fair, I kind of ended up tolerating the white boxes, not gonna lie. But this, very smart, weird placement on the kind of right chest side where there's just nothing, where there feels like there should be something. But this is going straight in pretty good. It is literally just a red set of driver overalls with logos in place to where they are on the real set, to be fair as well. But just like the livery on the car, simplicity isn't always a bad thing, and I actually really like that. And actually, no, you know what? Let's look at the proper set of Ferrari overalls. I've got to be honest, I'm putting them in air. I don't like the way they've implemented the black. It's more the black strip kind of through the middle, and we've seen that on the merchandise as well. I'm not overly keen on it. I think they should have just blacked out the entire top. And if anything, the actual set of overalls only draws more attention to that big empty space there, which I know on some of the merchandise they're filled with the Puma logo, but not on this. Like, fair enough, the Shell logo insists on being against red. Okay, fair enough. Move the Santander up above the Shell then move Velas and CV kind of on top of each other underneath the Ferrari. That would be a nicer composition. Yes, it would give hierarchical dominance to Santander over Shell, which Shell might not like, but composition-wise, that would be smart. I do think it's clever, the white line on Charles and yellow on Carlos, obviously Monaco and Spain, that fits, that's cool. But yeah, they're getting an from me. So nailed it with the livery, but not so much with the overalls. Okay, as for the other set of testing overalls, Valtteri Bottas in the Alfa Romeo. This is going straight in oh yes. Oh yes. It's just like the Ferrari, just all solid one colour and then the logos, but combined with the all blacked out helmet that he's running in this picture that you can see from the it's just so nice. With the helmet on, it makes him look like Darth Vader. Okay, I know that's not his actual helmet design, but again, for this testing overall, I thought it looked sick. As for the real thing, well, this is going in OES as well because I really like it. Is it better than the black? You know what? I'm going to say it is. I'm going to say the red, white and black Alfa Romeo overalls are even better than the all black. It's just a beautiful thing. I just love it. Especially, shout out Robert Kubica with the Polish flag, because obviously Orlen, Polish. Actually, when you break it down, it is just a set of black overalls with the Polish flag kind of on the chest, but it just seamlessly works with Orlen, with Alfa Romeo. The white on the sleeves, at first I was a bit not quite sure, but then I saw more images and actually, yeah, that's fire. That's lovely. These are banging. It's going to take a lot to beat these, I tell you. Okay, next. Let's go with Williams. Now, honestly, it's going in air. I feel like the overalls are a bit disjointed from the livery. You know, the livery's got quite bright blues going on and the overalls have gone for a really dark navy. They've still got the electric blue, but I'm not seeing the blue that we're seeing on the overalls on the car itself. Maybe there is one of the darker shades, but I actually like what they've done with the livery. I wasn't convinced first time when we saw the renders, but actually I think the blues that they've used and the composition and the diamond pattern, like that would have been nice to maybe see that replicated on the overalls. These are super basic, super simple. They're like OMP template overalls. And the way they've implemented Duracell, it's just a bit lazy with just a sticker. And granted, I do like the bottom half. I have kind of warmed to the implementation of a little bit of red, but then carry that onto the top half as well and have some little red hint colours. They haven't done that and it just seems a bit disjointed, unfortunately. When there's not much creativity in the overall design, it needs a strong colour palette, and the electric blue's nice, but it's not quite enough to drag this out of air. I don't dislike it, it's just air. Okay, and well, you know what? Let's do Aston Martin now, because this is a prime example of, once again, another very simple set of overalls. I'm going to put it in top of pretty good for now. They are just the kind of Aston Martin green with a couple of little hits. I'd like to see a bit more of the lime, maybe along the neckline, maybe down the legs. But because it is such a strong colour, the green, just like the Ferrari all red, because it's simple doesn't mean it's bad. And actually, yeah, these are pretty smart. Bringing other colours in and bringing like the lime in, for example, to break up the suit a bit, I think allows the sponsors to shout a bit more. You look at these and it's just a bit of all the sponsors, Bosch, all in white. They all kind of get lost. It does look super busy. And if they use the lime to kind of partition the suit up a bit more, I think it would allow the sponsors to maybe shine a bit more. But yeah, all in all, good job, Aston. Now let's have a look at Haas. The whole reason this video hasn't come out a little bit sooner because I was waiting to see if there were going to be any main changes to the Haas overalls. There haven't really been. There hasn't been many changes. These are going in all, yes. I really, really like the Haas overalls. Base white, the red, white and blue, which isn't too Russian, hence why they've not changed it. I know there's been a lot of discussion as to whether this is actually going to be the driver overall for the season when it starts, but I don't see why not, because yes, they're running a lot of red on the car now, but 1&1 is still a big sponsor of the Haas F1 team, so that blue makes sense. I don't think there's any point in changing the overalls, and they've already changed the livery up in the car, so I just think it's fine as is, and I really like the composition. Again, they've used these colours to partition the suit up a bit. If Aston had done something similar with the amount of sponsors on those Haas overalls, because I mean, look, compared to the Aston Martin, there's like none on this Haas. But I think it's a really smart pair of overalls, and seeing Kevin Magnussen in them, oh yes, who saw that coming? Not me at all. One thing that I do think is a bit sloppy, but am I just being harsh here, but the way that they've kind of covered over the old Uralkali Haas logo with Haas F1 team, it literally, like, I get printing like a patch, like getting a patch embroidered and then embroidering the patch over the top of it, so you don't have to get a new set of overalls made. It looks like someone's got a Pritt stick on the back of a piece of paper and just been like, Bosh, that'll do. Okay, let's now have let's do Alpha Tauri. Right, this is going into air. How far down air? No, you know what? I'm going to put this ahead of the Williams. I think ahead of the Ferrari as well, actually. I don't love it, but there's something about it. I like the AlphaTauri down the side of the leg. I'm really not sold on this kind of angled print that they've got going on, like underneath the main AlphaTauri logo. I'm not sold on that at all. It feels like they've designed the overalls and then they've just gone on clip art and just been like, oh, that's a cool shape. Bonk. They've done it on all the merch as well, and I'm really not sold on it personally. But other than that, there's not too much I dislike about it at all, really. Like, I think it's pretty cool, but I don't love it either. So I think, yeah, top of it. It's not on Aston Ferrari test territory, but it's okay. Right, next, let's do Mercedes. Where should we put Mercedes? Just like I said with the Alfa Romeo, testing overalls, like all black is a no-brainer. It doesn't lose. Obviously, you've got a bit more colour in this because of the Patronus, because of Monster Energy. I'm going to put it in top of pretty good for now. We'll see. I might be generous and move it up, but I think there's a bit more about the Haas overalls, especially that neckline on these Mercedes overalls with Monster in the middle and then Team Viewer on each side. That's lovely. Yeah, we'll leave it top of pretty good for now. But again, we'll go back at the end and revisit these. Right, let's go Red Bull next. Last year, they changed it up quite a bit. They had that dotted pattern, which I didn't love. The year before that, I really liked it. But they've kind of dropped the red from the kind of neck bit down. These overalls, these Red Bull ones, I'm going to put them in pretty good, but I think I'm going to put them at the bottom of pretty good. I think I prefer them to the AlphaTauri, but some of the design elements they've implemented in the past, I just lacked, and they've gotten rid of them, so it's going to get docked points for that, I think. But the contrast is great. Like, you've got the dark navy, you've got the yellow and the red from the Red Bull, you've got like Tag Heuer, you've got a bit of green in there, you've got the white from the text. Like, there's a lot of colours going on, maybe too many. And actually, I think that Red Bull logo, like the actual icon itself with the two balls, I think I'd like to see that maybe like more oversized. Okay, 2 more to go. Let's go with the Alpine. Now, this set of overalls has probably caught the most attention out of any set because they are very out there with the BWT pink coming in. I'll be honest, I kind of like them. These are going in pretty good. Where in pretty good? I think I like them more than Red Bull. I think I like them more than Ferrari test. No, I'm going to go there. Do they look a bit like pajamas? You could argue that for sure. but they pushed the boat out. They've done something different again, where they've segmented the design up. That means the BWT shouts. You've got Castro Edge separately. The arms, I think, are really nice, the way they've got the angled design in there. They've clearly worked with Alpine Stars closely on a really bespoke design here, which I think is great. This is, again, what's missing from the Williams. The Williams is just a template design. And even though you could argue the same about, you know, the Aston Martin or the Mercedes being template designs, they don't look as much of a template design as the Williams does. So yeah, these are pretty smart. As much as I don't like the pink implementation on the actual car itself, I think on the overalls, they've done a much better job. And last, but by no means least, McLaren. I absolutely love these overalls, and for me this is easily top two. So I'm putting this straight here. The question is, do I prefer them to the Alfa Romeo overalls? Because when I saw the Alfa ones, I was like, wow, they've absolutely smashed them out of the park. But these McLaren ones, I know people when they launched said they looked a bit IndyCar, so they look sick. Oh, I just love the blocking of it and the blue down the leg, the orange at the top, and oh mate, this is difficult. I'm still not in love with, you know, where they've got Dell Technologies on the white. I think that's a bit clumsy. You've got a lot of full color logos on here, which typically does kind of mess with the balance, but I think because you've got that real strong orange, black, and then a lot of empty space, it's not too intricate in its design, so I feel like those full color logos don't detract too much. It's like I prefer the composition of the McLaren, but I definitely prefer the sponsor logo implementation on the Alfa Romeo overalls. So yeah, let's go back to this. Right, okay, we have to, look, we have to put something in everything, so I'm going to have to drag the Williams down to dead, I'm afraid. I actually think I'm going to put Red Bull in the top of air on reflection. I think that makes sense. So now it's, who's going to win? There is one of these that's just slightly sticking out to me. So my winner, my top driver overall design of the 2022 F1 season is the McLaren. Well done McLaren, well done, grazie ragazzi. Orange, black, lovely new blue, like I said, with the livery, great colour palette to work with, and the composition, unlike on the actual livery, which to be fair, the testing livery, Bahrain testing livery with the slight changes, I think is an improvement, but on the overalls, nailed it. Right, before you go, like the video, subscribe to the channel, we'll double check you subscribe because you might think you are, but you might not be. Also, link in the description to the tier list. Do your own, let me know on Twitter. My name's Tommo. Thanks again. Have a good one. Ta-da.